Oh, yeah. It is time, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi again on the line. We've got Zenron. Welcome, welcome.
We're back.
We're back. We already got chat loaded. Brackthorn's here. We got MushyMango and kopiuyt immediately out of the gate. And then following that up, we've got JoJoJoJo and Soopbloops. A little less familiar with these two, but pretty familiar with the two we're going to be starting initially. These guys have been in a bunch of tournaments, and I guess get ready for a lot of Vitruvian round one, huh?
Oh, yeah.
With this format, you've got to win with both decks to advance. So we'll be seeing some Sif here for the lockdown, the removal check. If you don't have removal, you just get got by the Sinister Silhouette, and Sif can dance all over you, and the game's over. Also has a Mechazord deck that is using Riftwalker with Azure Summoning. So there's kind of a funny multi-strat going on. I don't think you can airdrop with the Riftwalker and Azure Summoning though, so that might be a non-bow.
This was the question we had last time, and
Yeah.
it was something we forgot to investigate.
But he did cast Azure Summoning at melee range once, so it looked like it is the case. We'll see if an Azure Summoning goes the distance, but I think it's going to be bonking stuff. We've also got this other Sag list that's got a lot of 1Xs, Grinchers in here for fun times, who knows what that's going to pull. And Azure Summoning here is set to Swarm King Scarab. So gonna grab a Temp Bomb.
Very scary as our summoning pull.
And the Kara deck is just kind of a theme of Infiltrate and showing off some of the new cards. I guess we'll see some old stuff too, like potentially a Luminous Charge into blowing it up with a Scorn. That's always a ton of damage.
Thunderhorn, classic card.
Yeah, and the Swamp Entangler to set up for Thunderhorn. And of course, the MVP of the Kara deck here would be the Volatile Crystal. Very funny cube.
The funny cube. We love the funny cube here.
Yeah, yeah. Zenron, are you ready for game number 1 of series number 1, tournament number 10, round number 3?
I sure am.
Yeah. We're jumping into it in 3, 2, 1, already in it. Okay, so we have some good tidings. We immediately have the cube. We saw for a second the combo piece to go with it, but that was replaced away.
Oh no, no 2 drops in the starting hand from Mango's side.
MushyMango with a dead opener. Unfortunate. But if you're not running like 8 to 15 2-drops, it can happen.
Yeah.
Would have loved to start with like a Wings of Mechazor, for instance.
Oh yeah.
Kopiuyt's-
If Kopiuyt was left side, that would have been such a peak starter. Just drop your wings, deny the early mana.
Yeah. You can even use the Wings now to get another Wings. Or probably just drops one somewhere awkward. Could get the Azure Summoning rolling, but
Might want to hold on to those.
yeah, actually
yeah.
AoE clear. Because the Mechazor Wings are good conduits for it, because you don't care if they get pinged by it.
Yeah, they're pretty tanky little guys. And already turn 1 Mechazor is at 40%.
Mechazor is coming. And we'll be
Oh
adding
boy,
more
true.
exclamation marks with each percentage jump. Progressively becoming all uppercase. Bunch of chaff in the way. Cube is kind of a funny thing. The Bloodbound Mentor might have been the play, but it gets replaced. And
Still a
MushyMango.
pretty heavy mana hand there.
Yeah. I wouldn't have
Another charger.
expected the Komodo Hunter first, but we're seeing it lead the charge. But is going to have to deal with a couple chargers. This is just more fodder for Thunderhorn to rip through. That could actually be a really funny 7-mana combo if you need a little bit more reach on their general. You spawn some chargers.
Sounds like Komodo Hunters and then blow
Yeah.
them all up.
Does
Yeah,
1 damage to a Thunderhorn.
It would be funny to see.
So that interaction could be coming. We're seeing Azure Summoning to pull out a Riftwalker from the deck. So at the end of turn, or at the start of the next turn, it's getting recalled back to hand. So to keep it alive, an Inner Oasis is going down. So kopiuyt's board now extremely tanky, especially these Komodo chargers. Oh my goodness. And the Riftwalker gets the bounce back and charge up, and there's another Riftwalker summoner, and there's the Orb Rider to get the Riftwalker going even more. Wow. Kopiuyt's intensity is shooting through the roof.
Yeah, it really is. But it's interesting attacking the hunter with the general, because that's a big chunk of your HP.
Yeah.
But the hunter will not continue fighting the general. Will instead start picking apart the smaller minions.
Yep.
And the Thunderhorn goes down to the back line.
Thunderhorn gonna have to be answered by the Riftwalkers, because otherwise it's gonna do a lot of cleanup. So this Rafter is
spreading out.
Could actually potentially Orb Rider this one right back, even though it's gonna recall anyway. It might be better just to wait and let it bounce.
Yeah, it might be better just to wait for that one, save for a different one.
Could potentially Orb Rider a Mechazor sword to get Mechazor just at 100% at any point.
That is true. The thing is, whenever you're playing against, you know, the banner, I lost the name there. You always got to be
faction.
You always got to be careful. Blue faction, yeah. You always got to be careful of the positioning, because there's a lot of tricky cards in there that can mess with you. So you think you're safe from Thunderhorn, and then all of a sudden a Hearth Sister just ruins your day. But taking care of it with the smaller minions, just running into it.
Yep, has enough damage. Take out Mechazor or take out the Thunderhorn before it completely shreds his board out.
The general smacks the general.
Might want to drop a cube somewhere just to set up some space. Going to have a lot of Spriggans to work with, which have a funny ability to keep pumping out more and more kin. So if you can fall behind the cube, you get kind of a unit factory. But that's kind of mana inefficient.
Yeah, it is pretty expensive, and Kopiuyt's got a lot of mechs in his hand. You can theoretically summon Mechazor very soon.
Especially with these helms around.
Yeah. Mango giving it a good think, taking out the Orb Rider.
Yeah, I think Thunderhorn. Yeah.
Throw out another Thunderhorn in the back.
Because any units that get produced, like it could combo with Spriggan here.
Oh, that is a scary combo.
Yeah, 3 units nearby. There's no way something isn't front row.
Let's see if Kopiuyt is wise to it. If he pulls the general back.
You'd have to pull the general back and have stuff in front, but you actually can't have stuff in front because of how T-Horn works, so you gotta just rely on RNG.
Just hope the Spriggans don't spawn in too close.
Yeah.
Nope, going aggressive there, dropping down the sword.
Got a sword. Could potentially go Helm plus Iron Shroud, and then... Or could get the cannon down to start shooting.
Pull out the cannon in his backline, that's true.
Kopiuyt spreading out best as he can to play around something like a Hearth Sister, getting this Thunderhorn wherever it wants, so it can't do a chain connection.
Alright, I'll spread out. Now some decisions have to be made.
Yeah, Thunderhorn, I don't think it's worth losing 3 health on it to take away the sword. But there's so many Spriggans. I'm feeling playing a Spriggan. Move Thunderhorn 2 steps right, Spriggan anywhere, and the general's getting hit.
Oh yeah.
I'd be into that. MushyMango's going to go ahead and put some damage on Thunderhorn and bonk this ranged unit just to be able to clear it. So this seems pretty reasonable. Get the Scorn in the way. Could take out the Charger.
Saving that T-Horn, the 1 HP.
Yeah, T-Horn is Riftwalker food though.
It is just Riftwalker fodder because it's now doing 3 damage?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's another Riftwalker summoning, which is actually concerning if you play all of your Riftwalkers. It starts hitting lower minions, so it's going to start pulling out the swords. But you'll know if that's the case once it goes to 2. So there's still another Riftwalker somewhere in the deck that's being reduced to 3. This is definitely a very popular card. It's like the theme of the tournament right now. This thing does quite a lot of cool things.
Definitely is.
But with 7 mana, we could see it being cast into Riftwalker being cast, which does some damage. Seems okay. It would do so much general damage, but the Komodo could actually tank 3 damage by summoning one with the Azure Summoning, and then... Or I guess you could summon it in range of your general too.
Oof.
Although opting to drop one of the 4-cost guys instead of using the 3-cost spell there.
Might have been an oopsie moment.
Yeah, I feel that one should have been backwards. Whoops.
Well, here comes Mechazor.
Yep. Pretty much proved from T-Horn.
And I'm assuming the general is now going to run far, far away.
Yeah, because Mechazor's got that reach.
Spriggan could set up for a nasty combo if the RNG got real lucky there.
Yeah, the Spriggan T-Horn interaction is fading, unfortunately, so they'll have to be...
Yeah, he'd need to dispel the Mechazor.
Fortunately, has the Dispel in hand, so Chromatic Gold, pretty nice answer to the Zor.
Yeah, down goes the Hearth Sister.
Yeah, T-Horn actually do a lot of value here. Connecting.
And there we go.
Yeah, look at this connection.
Big combo.
Very nice. MushyMango finding the clear and the push. Has the slightly stronger board now. Mechazor progress 0%.
Huge momentum swing there.
Yeah. But between Azure Summoning hitting for 4 and then for 5, and then a general for 2, this looks like it's over.
That's just it.
Yeah.
That's just the game. That's the power of Riftwalker.
Riftwalker's juiced. Gets harder and harder to play around. It starts hitting like a MO. Oh no! Azure Summoning replaced? Huh?
He replaced his win con?
Kopiuyt didn't see it? Was it not a... Huh?
Did he not see the lethal? Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, it only hits for 3? Yeah, so it would have been 1 off. If it hit for 3, hit for 4, and hit for 2.
This still would have been big
Pretty
damage,
good. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be complaining about that.
Putting damage on your own general is kind of sketchy.
Mm.
Divine Spark is kind of a nice final card. This is one of the deadest cards in the faction, but in this situation, it's real nice looking.
3 mana for a 2-card draw is a bit steep.
Oh, it's time for the cube. In fact, it's time
The
for both
cube
cubes.
comes out. Oh no.
Kopiuyt in the igloo.
He's stuck there.
Could just take 2
trapped.
steps right?
Yeah, I know, but it's kind of forcing him.
Yeah, it ejects you out. You're playing into your opponent being able to infiltrate you suddenly.
Well, the much more efficient draw card, Scion's First Wish.
Yup. Mana Forger here for a little discount too. So Kopiuyt's still at 6 mana and could do another Scion's Wish. Keep it cycling.
Yeah, he's got to move his general though, because
Yeah.
just,
Like
just get stuck there.
a pet transform ends the game basically.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Completely. Then that's just it.
Mushy just replaces this and finds it, then yeah, you go to 1. And then like a Scorn shows up later.
Does the general get moved though? Are we gonna see it?
The pet actually isn't, it's not guaranteed. It's like still a random roll if it approaches the cube because there's so many other things for a pet to approach. So it's still not a surefire lethal, but stepping away from the cube, entirely reasonable.
Stepping away.
Rolling the BBS for a 50-50 to keep the minion, but loses the coin flip.
Oh well.
And has a mirror him left over to dupe some Riftwalkers. So combo is continuing.
Ooh. And still has the Riftwalker in hand.
Yeah, so I think this one hits for 4.
So one must hit for 4 then.
Paragon plus Hearth Sister could be cast, plus BBS, which seems okay. Does a full clear-ish. Riftwalker's living.
Very back and forth round.
Importantly, Paragon says that it damages itself instead of attacks itself, so this Frenzy keyword doesn't proc.
That
Paragon
is such a
fits.
specific interaction that I did not even know about. Too many times have I played a homeostatic rebuke with frenzy minions nearby and losing the game.
I would have expected Hearth Sister first to set up for the pony, but instead we're seeing our Hearth Sister played a little more aggressively. And keeping the general at 10. Only has a healing sage left in hand. Oh no. The idea of this is it dupes your cubes once you start going through them.
You can never lose if you just simply surround your general with cubes.
That is a kind of win con.
Hide in a corner, just spawn 3 cubes around yourself.
Have them chip through a wall of ice for the next 5 turns. But we see Azure Summoning in hand. That plus another Riftwalker. Kopiuyt gets game number 1.
Riftwalker MVP, got a lot of work out of him.
Yeah.
Even after losing the big Mechazor play, still managed to pull it back in, so well played.
Also, the initial bump up, the Oasis to give everything plus 3 health right after getting the token minions was really strong.
Yeah,
Made
fantastic.
Kopiuyt a monstrous early
Fantastic
reward.
play.
But we got some pretty good replay from MushyMango, bounce back a bit, and maybe can bounce back in game number 2. Going to be facing the other Sif deck now. And we're in it.
Alrighty-o.
Nice showcase of all the Vitruvian generals for all the fans of Orange.
Big Orange fan.
Sif actually is the exact same as back in the day, but Sag has got damage reduction on her BBS. So that's some nice sauce.
Only for minions, though.
Yeah, which is good. And makes her better at
important
bonking minions.
distinction. Yeah, I think it was definitely a needed buff. Sag definitely felt like the general that was left along the wayside.
Yeah. And Sif we're not making too powerful because stealing BS is it deflects people from the game sometimes, but it is funny and you can just do it, and we see some of that in here. There's some grapnels.
It is very funny, but it is also very situational. You play against any spell high decks and it kind of just falls apart. Or decks that don't rely as heavily on minions.
The one woman army just shreds it.
Yeah. So actually, against an artifact deck like this, you are getting less value out of stealing things. But luckily, it is not a one-trick steal deck. So
yeah, there's a lot of win cons going on.
Yeah.
Mostly the Swarm King Scarab gets there. Paired with these Portal Guardians is pretty nice. Portal Guardian placed below, but we have a Sand Sister Sound here to +1/+1 the general essentially. The armor it gives it is really good damage reduction. So the bees from the Swarm King Scarab actually just do nothing.
Oh, that's true. Well,
they'd have to go for the sister.
Yeah, they have to take out the sister first.
Kopiuyt with 6 mana potentially. Oh, it's can't actually get 6 mana and get the Swarm King Scarab or the grab. And it's slightly too early for Lady Lock.
Nothing to really combo it into. So.
Yeah, it's just a Lady Lock by itself. Kind of sad. Oh, wait a minute. There's a card draw spell, and what if Sinister Silhouette was drawn? Oh, heart of the cards. Kopiuyt just knew.
Oh.
Heads up play. Wow.
This is going to be very problematic.
Wow. Cannot be attacked. Well, here is MushyMango's hand down here. Nothing deals with it.
Absolutely no answers.
Wow.
That is very lucky and a very scary combo.
But a choice was made.
Chooses not to pull it out. That could have just won the game.
Maybe thought that there was removal here, respecting something that didn't exist at the time. And has a big double lockdown, but doesn't have a different kind of lockdown, which would be a lot funnier. That's going to be a lot harder to pull off now.
I'm looking through the deck list. There's the only thing that could deal with it in here looks like Blood of Air.
Oh wow, that is so far off.
Yeah, that's a 6-mana spell.
Maybe didn't see the straw and then immediately just did the play and had that already in mind, but had some time, probably decided against it. Just needs a Woodwind or something now, right? And then there's a buffed Portal Guardian and a Nasty Boy in the back, but Provoke actually is a negative keyword if you have too much of it, because then your opponent can choose what they hit anyway.
Yeah. Let's see, are we gonna see a Bloodbound spell lower an attack?
Yeah, that seems most reasonable. Portal Guardian hits the sister.
Drop a Sinister to stop the other sister from finishing it off. Yep, there we go. Blocking it off.
Well, just dropping the silhouettes.
Oh.
Not yet time for the first wish.
It's a whole party of silhouettes. But the General Bloodbound spell does give it enough power to take it out, or with the artifact, I think. Hexblade gives it +3, I believe.
Yeah, got +3 on Hexblade, but opting for Felchius plus double damage.
Falcius play instead. Gotta be careful around the silhouettes.
Yeah, there's a Cosmic Flesh was already used, but there's other stuff that works to get them online. Maybe they'll pick up a Golden Justiciar equipment.
Oh. Then it's relying on something like a Falcia or a Zephyr to give the general
Fury to
frenzy.
Just hit anything. Frenzy.
Yeah. And then hopefully you can tag something else and get rid of those silhouettes along the way.
Kopiuyt fading to drop a Swarm King in the back. This solves most problems. And the Sinister Silhouette could have blocked the general from moving up to avoid the Scarab, but instead is going to move it here to block the sister from hitting. And it blocks the Falchius here from coming in.
So theoretically, Mushy could just push everything to the very top row.
Yep.
And
completely
avoid it.
Dodge.
Does... Let's see. Let's see what they do.
Yeah, Sag doesn't like fading. She's going in.
Yeah, you kind of have to keep pressing the attack, otherwise...
Unless you got a bunch of tanks to rely on.
Yeah.
So here's a bit of a retort as you're summoning to pull out a temporary Swarm King Scarab, which could be similarly played around.
I'm just going in aggro.
Other line of play is the Swarm King Scarab blasts this Falchius, and then, or just blast the general. It generates so many bugs that it takes care of the Swarm King Scarab anyway.
So it's moving out of the way. Let's see if the general moves out of the way.
You'd expect the general to move out of the way for the extra bug, but valuing the positioning more, Really wants to keep MushyMango blocked in here.
Yeah, keep it away from your
But
Scarecrow.
that only generates 6 bugs! Where's your 7th bug?
Ah, well.
Huh?
Can't have them all.
Oh well, this goes for the other stuff, and the bugs actually are still really annoying. They can be planted all around here. And getting the armor off the table probably matters more, because we got a silence. But the silence sticks this around, so the 2/7 isn't getting bounced.
But it does prevent Swarm King from actually being scary.
Yeah.
So, to attack on a 6-mana minion is kind of not
It's
great.
not doing anything. It'd actually be a lot scarier for kopiuyt, who could potentially Cosmic Flesh it. Leftover bugs going for some general damage.
Oh, and Superior Mirage. Love that card.
Summon 3 copies of a minion, and they are destroyed immediately if they're attacked. But you can use it on a Rush minion, or an Intensify minion, or a Bond minion. There's a lot of things that proc it that do some wild things.
Or just anything with like an ability that can just
if you can,
scary.
If you can have it stick a turn, and then maybe it puts out a ton of damage, or...
Yeah, it's such a versatile card, but it is very situational. It does rely on your opponent actually having.
Yeah, but it's a really good silver
strong
bullet.
minions.
Some matchups it's just good at, and it's good in enough matchups. And we got a Wildfire Ankh, so didn't need to push forward after all, but is here. Blast forward, takes out the Swarm King Scarab. Wow.
Very necessary play.
Can you believe the quality of artifacts that Otarja's gift just gave? Usually it hands out like pendant or immunity to nearby obelisks or something. But this time it's like, how about a giant attack buff and blast? We'll just give you both of them.
The exact cards you needed to not lose right now.
2 combo package in this one spell. The spell is awesome as it turns out. Sometimes, enough times that it's could be worth just jamming. It's kind of like playing a Grincher.
Sometimes the value is really high.
Yeah, this could have actually locked the game in for MushyMango. Just these crazy draws out of this, because now kopiuyt's got a ton of provoke to work with and the Sand Scroll Reader, but maybe the provoke is enough. Yeah, blast doesn't work if you can't find a target to hit.
That's so true.
So we're probably seeing 2 copies of Cosmic Flesh. Or we can play the Sinister Silhouette a little bit later and get a sand tile out.
And there we go.
Here's the lockdown.
MushyMango
needs to replace and find Blood of Air. Well, actually drew a card.
Look at that.
Drew a card and found Blood of Air, rather. The perfect answer. Exactly when he needed it.
And out comes the blast. Big damage on the general. Things are looking dire, but there is one more silhouette.
There's a taunting silhouette that just could happen, and Monolithic Vision might have to fish for an answer to deal with that, because that could be a complete lockout otherwise. And a third piece of the combo, Scion's Second Wish, you can make this invincible and it starts wailing on the general.
Exactly.
Lockdown.
Bravely running away. Locking down that board.
Set this thing to 1 power just in case.
You never know.
Is it time for Monolithic Vision? No, it's time for summoning another Swarm King Scarab with as your summoning, because that just locks in the game immediately.
That's just it.
kopiuyt actually needed to not fade away with his general and put this silhouette between the general and the minion to keep them both locked down, because then that way it could at least respond. But from this position, it has to replace this Herald.
He has Bloodbound. He could make the Scarab's attack 0.
And then it can't blast,
and then he can't
hit.
Attack.
Oh, this BBS suddenly amazing. Hold up.
BBS MVP.
Yeah, and he'll time out and then bounce back to his hand, and then by the time it can be cast again, it can just be Dissensioned every turn.
Then that's, yeah.
This win con is non-functional for MushyMango. And this lockdown is doing as much time as kopiuyt probably needs until the next Blood of Air shows up, I guess. Although, bad news about that. Good news for MushyMango, though.
Got the card you needed, Blood of Air.
Managed to draw Blood of Air last turn, which simplifies the game a whole bunch. Let's see. Maybe Air Pride Beak to get the healing?
But you can't just blindly march forward because your general is also real low.
Yeah. So close.
Yeah, no mana left for the BBS there, so can't shrug off the damage. But you know, when you see that your opponent only has one card left in their hand, you're thinking, you're gambling. Well, probably won't be that strong, but oh,
kopiuyt has a good final card. This enables follow-up cards pretty nicely because there's no way to deal with equipment. It's just on the ground if this thing dies. You have to step on it and block it.
Golden Justicar.
Doesn't really tell you what it does, but it's got the Justicia's Bastion, +3 health and extra movement speed. So with the extra move space, it's kind of like you've got that Lionar legend out.
Oh, and there it comes.
Bone Swarm, notably only targeted or centered around your own general, so it's not a burn spell really effectively. Unless you can get in there. It has kinematic projection. MushyMango can turn this backline Swarm Scarab into a one-time blast, and then has one more damage with the Rasha's Curse, and then is 1 damage off lethal.
Whoa.
Spawns Rasha's Curse in range of the Provoker, so we're taking down the Justicia. Justicar turns out to be just a shield on the ground, which can immediately be body blocked by Lava Stormwalker. And here's another Obelisk. MushyMango gets a Superior Mirage, which is a pretty funny last card, but it's unfortunately going to be immediately answered no matter what it hits. And if it hits a backline, that doesn't have enough meaning.
Oh no. Is this it?
Oh, this game was so fun too. I can't believe it's over.
He copies the lava storms. He can't use their abilities immediately.
Yeah, so the only thing that could be copied that sticks is the Swarm King, so now there's a bunch of Phantom Swarm Kings in the back. But kinematic projection turns this thing's blast back online. That plus the other dudes nearby. MushyMango tying up the series.
But it can no longer attack generals.
Oh no! Not tying up the series! There's extra text on this card!
Nope.
Give a minion blast! It can no longer move or damage generals. Oh.
But no, it's the lava storm's gonna spawn a
It attacked.
Huh? It didn't spawn a
That would have done 1 more damage if it spawned.
Yeah.
And then the Air Pride Beak, yeah. Whoa.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
MushyMango's choking.
Dervish, that would have been lethal. Oh no. Oh my god.
Can kopiuyt replace his way out of this situation? Nah, he finds a Rift Beast. Oh. PSA, everybody, kinematic projection isn't a burn spell anymore.
Did the Scarabs not have blast?
It couldn't shoot, so its blast didn't do anything. And then the copied ones were copied with
oh, it copied with that effect.
Yeah, so they weren't like bug spewers. Maybe kopiuyt was testing that to see if he could get a bunch of blasters in the back. That would be
Oh no, because I was thinking if we could get the blast off, that would just be over.
Yeah, and then kopiuyt would win with that one.
Damn.
Not how that interaction works, and we are on to game number 3.
Wow.
Versus MushyMango. Time for the cube.
Alright, game 3.
So I think Vanar has a pretty strong matchup against this removal check deck, based on what we saw in the upper bracket, where just the silences and stuff were just like they're getting in the way. Plus, Luminous Charge is a good way to deal with something that you can't attack.
That's true. It does definitely make your life difficult.
Kopiuyt favoring this opener and just get a Portal Guardian below you.
Simple or get it out early.
Yep, and although MushyMango lost the first turn, the Owl into getting the center piece is pretty nice looking. But 5 mana, the Bastion's down. And not the harmless Bastion, this is the nasty one that comes at you.
The one that causes many problems.
Well, here's a different kind of problem causer in the back. We've got a Thunderhorn developed from MushyMango. Could potentially swap it in. Kopiuyt's got to watch a step.
That's what it's poised to do, but the Thunderhorn can't actually destroy any minions on Kopiuyt's side.
Yeah, we need 2 Thunderhorns. Well, could potentially Thunderhorn the Portal Guardian and then transform it into a battle pet.
That is one of my favorite strategies.
Needs this mana.
Hoping it turns it into a battle pet that isn't Rook, because Rook does not move.
Yeah.
And then it kind of ruins your whole play if they transform into the one minion that will not.
Actually, Oni ruins it too because the force field doesn't take damage, so it eats the chain lightning.
So yeah, also won't proc it. So you have whatever many % chance to not get one of those 2.
We have a killer combo happening here with the Scion's second wish on this thing, so it needs to be transformed into a pet immediately, and that doesn't quite solve the artifact that the pet's going to pick up. Ion is a pet that doesn't move though, because it has 10 range.
So it's just gonna...
It's one of the better pets to get though if you're looking for a pet, because it hits so hard. Maybe it has to be dealt with right now. But
the general in a scary position.
Yeah, this thing hits the general twice as hard as usual, so it's going to be dealt with by the Mentor.
Yep. Our sister.
Yep, also blocks the artifact a bit. Makes it annoying to get.
Still with the Portal Guardian right next to you, not a fun place to be.
This is not ideal for MushyMango. Kind of scary with this nasty Frenzier.
And doesn't really have a direct answer for it in his hand either.
Yeah, Sunset Paragon taking out the backline. Bit of a blood cost for the Portal Guardian, but it's definitely worth it to delete the Thunderhorn. Doesn't have any leftovers to claim the Justicar Bastion. So this Justicia is going to be camped by something most likely. How about a Suite of Walls? Kopiuyt's in the bomb jail now.
There is no escape. So something's going to get hurt on the way out.
Best option might be some damage on the Portal Guardian, run to the left. That sets you pretty far away. Which actually is playing into MushyMango's strategy of immediately Icebreak ambushing if he gets all the space.
Yeah.
Swamp Entangler is pretty nice with Kara because every time he uses his ability, you can use your BBS to give it a +1.
Yeah, it is pretty good value there. I was thinking if he had a second lava guy, I'm forgetting the name. The 4 mana
Scorn,
could ping his walls twice and then just deal 10 damage from all those walls immediately exploding.
It is kind of a choice when you use your BBS before dropping Luminous Charge because it makes it so your Scorn doesn't just pop them all in one hit.
Yeah.
A bit of a downside. But they can attack, so it's generally worth it.
But they can attack, so that is your upside there.
So the wall
Good
still
dissension.
just... Yeah. This Luminous Charge could just be punched out.
It's looking pretty stuck in the corner, and that Portal Guardian is Getting pretty big, he's getting pretty beefy.
Threatens swinging for a ton of damage next turn, so a blocker's come down to stop that.
The general is very stuck there, but there we go, dealing some damage.
Yeah, clearing it decently well.
I wonder if he's gonna use the Hearth Sister to...
Yeah. Hearth Sister attacks Sif,
yeah.
and
There
then
we
the
go.
AoE bomb takes out the Portal Guardian. Very nice.
Good play, good play.
Kopiuyt's kind of running low on cards in hand. Some pretty good cards. Sand Swirl is pretty nice. Get that Valley Generation. Also has a Hexblade to potentially just chop the Scorn.
Right into. But is leaving himself open to that last wall still.
I like this Rift Beast's movement. Comes in to do the provoke and then just draws a card. Very
Yeah,
nice.
really got to milk that Rift Beast value
Yeah.
while you've got it. Half expecting something like a Blood of Air on the
Scorn, really take it out. So here's good use of Sand Swirl Reader, recycling the pony. So Sunset Paragon can just come down to blow up stuff later.
Yeah, definitely when you've got backup Sand Swirls, you can be a little more free with your use of them. It's not essential that there's things you need to get rid of. And you've got the Blood of Air, so plenty of removal in that hand. Since you're taking it out.
Yeah, Scorn sitting on the sand tile. Mushy has enough mana for the cube and to +1 everything or to lock down stuff. Swamp and Tank, is that just good game? Isn't that just GG? Because now... Oh no, summoning there. I was thinking summoning on top of the shield, so the only spot that could be summoned is in range of the cube.
Oh yeah.
Because that would activate it. Now Kopiuyt's got the option to drop something. With 9 mana...
Does the Blood of Air, will that trigger the cube if it's a transformation?
No, you can transform this... wait, oh you mean if it's something nearby? That actually might have changed, because previously, when it first came out, it was triggering off of eggs transforming and hatching and stuff. That was super busted, so that was patched out.
That seems very busted.
It probably is the same for transform. I don't think you can just like transform and get it going.
Although then again, any nerfed eggs
never mind.
Is valid. Oh,
the cube got set off and MushyMango gets the win.
The cube. The cube claims the win.
Yes. The cube cannot be melted. 3-time champion has been defeated by MushyMango. And this funny volatile crystal deck. All right, that is the elimination.
Cube is the MVP.
Cube MVP for sure. That's wiggliness saved up for the very end. Well, good run from Cope, and we will be seeing some more MM. So get ready for that. Very nice. One more series for today, and we're gonna call it. We got JoJoJoJo and Soopbloops. So more Vanar, both of them packing some blue. But we got a different kind of style of Sag. I noticed this one doesn't have a Hexblade, but does have 2 Onks. So doing some stuff different. And we got this, let's see, purple deck that's going for, it's got the Feralu for duping some stuff. Maybe Nightmare Operants can get copied. A lot of value with Pet Draw. Hydrax is somehow doing awesome work there. And then we got a replace deck with White Widow and friends.
Yeah, both strong stuff.
2 Moonlight Basilisks.
Remind me. Which there's a winners and a losers bracket, correct?
Yeah, we are currently in the lower bracket. We have a game queued for the top bracket. Me versus losers improve. So next round is going to be the winners of bottom match versus and the top match. So those are gonna be 2 matches.
Okay.
Yeah. We haven't played our match yet because otherwise we'd have 3 matches today and 1 match next time, which I think 2 and 2 is much better pacing.
Yeah.
Yeah, are you ready for series number 2?
Oh boy. Let's do it.
Gonna be a doozy. Let's jump in. We got Soopbloops on Kara versus JoJoJoJo. That I've previously written on the bracket as JoJoJo, but I bug fixed that since. Oh, and Alina. Got a bunch
get
of
the right number of Joes.
Yeah, there's always one extra. It's not JoJo. Unless it's 2 JoJos.
Wonder what his favorite anime is.
Liked it so much you watched it twice. We got a lot of the new stun technology going on here. Like Cryo Blade deals double damage to and cannot be countered by stunned. So it can just get free chops. Sand Burrower is an MVP in creep, but also really good at stunning as it turns out. Because it just auto stuns what's in front of it.
And the stun still counts towards all the typical Vanar stun stuff?
So all the stuff's transforming, and Cryo Blade's going to be a good follow-up.
That's so interesting.
Opening with a Cryo Blade in the middle, equipping a Cold Biter just to do some AoE damage. In case any walls show up, for instance.
That is actually a fantastic counter to walls.
Yeah.
Just exist near them and they go away.
It's sending the signal. Better watch where you place these bone chill barriers.
Well, unless it's luminous walls, which will backfire on you tremendously.
Yeah. That's pretty funny. We do see the combo here with the bone chill barrier and why they're in the deck in the first place is because Glacial gets blasting with them. And that might be the 2 cards to play, but it exposes the Glacial up top. Which is kind of awkward.
Might be a bit early.
Yeah, there'd have to be like
super high value to target.
But there's a mana death grip coming. So if Soopbloops doesn't mess up this board, JoJoJo is going to be able to ramp.
Pump the artifact, get rid of the minion. Yeah. And then get a wall.
So White Asp is a pretty cool artifact. It gives you the 3/3 walls. Slightly too tanky for this Cold Biter to deal with. Slightly not enough mana for Grincher. Oh, replaced and found a very funny card. You know it's a funny card when there's an uppercase word in it where they just capitalize everything on it.
Wow, what a draw.
Skillful.
What a fantastic draw. I have not seen Glacial Fissure in so long. And I think we should just see more of it.
Well, we're seeing less of it, or we're not seeing any of it this turn, because JoJo's opting to ramp instead. Really wanted to mana Death Grip. Every other turn getting 1 extra mana, which I guess is worth it, but if Soopbloops can suss this out and not be on this mana tile with his general, it's going to be in a pretty nice spot. It is open deck list, so you know that there's that 1x nasty spell.
And you're risking it all.
But there's so many 1x's that it's hard to keep track of it all, and maybe it just slips in, and it's like part of the snowstorm. They'll never notice.
I feel like it's definitely a strat for open team sheet is to just play a 1x deck, because your opponent really just can't predict everything.
Doesn't have it in mind though. It's just going to be anchored in the center. So JoJo's got
just gonna
another
keep a general in the middle. Could just drop it.
This does do friendly damage, so you don't want to have your own general in the center column or anything too valuable. So if a Sand Burrower is coming out, it's got to be afterwards. Gonna go for Grincher getting the mana tile instead, which actually hands off a relevant artifact for the archetype. It picks an artifact from any faction, and here's one that's on theme. So Ice Shatter Gauntlet, gonna be real nice.
Freezing the general, so still open for that Glacial Fissure
Still
next
open,
turn.
yep.
General can't move. Can't do nothing.
The nuke plan is still on.
That could be massive damage next turn, actually.
Yeah, that is so much burn damage.
With the
Soopbloops
Grincher.
Gonna have to build up a board of a Glacial Elemental plus some blasts. Okay, so
Popping
this
down the barrier.
it was a low roll. The Bone Shield barriers destroyed the pet, not Grincher.
Not the minions you want to get rid of.
So 5 damage from this,
I'm just waiting for
8
the
damage
Fisher.
from this. It's so much. There's nothing else going on. And this is an awesome blow. It's not quite reaching the White Widow. That's just kind of sneaking out of range still.
A lot of backline damage though to like anything that gets summoned, but maybe you don't need to summon anything.
Could potentially make a copy of Grincher by stunning it and then essence sculpting it. Although this only targets enemies, so it would have to be some other card to stun it, like the Sand Burrower. No, I don't. Sand Burrower also doesn't stun friendlies. It's hard to use essence sculpt on your own stuff, but this will.
It is tricky.
It makes a copy and it gives you a mana. I haven't been making use of this spell yet, but it ramps, so it's got to be good, right?
I mean, when you're sitting at 7 mana already, how much is one more? And out it comes Glacial Fisher. Big damage.
Soopbloops' health is now in the red. I mean, this health bar has been red for a while, but is going to be toasted in one more hit of those. Just a few more hits. That's all it's going to take. JoJoJo's going to.
But has some walls to hide behind.
Yeah, this is
and
a pretty...
so much minion damage that burrower's gone.
Yeah. JoJoJo's got the Yggdrasil disciple in hand at least to draw back up. But the Sand Burrower is not going to be alive to help proc it. So maybe stunning a White Widow is good because this is generic enough, works anywhere. And then making a copy of it. Although the problem with the White Widow is Glacial typically hits a lot more effectively.
I think his Soup just has so much like damage output.
Yeah.
Passive damage output that it's just kind of there's no minions really in the deck fat enough to really outlast.
Joe basically needs the full artifact combo at this point to deal with infinite minions that are coming out of Voice of the Wind.
Oh yeah. The 3 mana, the 3 artifacts.
Yeah, there's one where you can reactivate yourself if you kill something that's stunned. There's one you can stun something on a hit, and there's one that you can destroy something instantly if it's stunned. It's real nice.
Yeah, because that's...
Okay, we're seeing the stun into the White Widow, into it doing a random 2 damage shot somewhere, but it's placed in range of the Voice of the Wind, so trying to bait this value generator out so the Ferocity can hit it. Soopbloops does not have a whole lot for Glacial, but does have a Cryogenesis for just 4 damage, so that is pretty strong a turn. Because it draws more fodder for Glacial.
Although with JoJo, with the amount of artifact power in the hand, that could just... that's just it.
This is plus 6 damage. If JoJo gets close range, he wins.
That's
so
it, yeah.
Soup cannot be anywhere near. Soup's got to fall back.
Let's see if Soup falls back or if he keeps the general.
Pushes the advantage because it suddenly has
close,
like
yeah.
Because Soup's board is really impressive.
This is a very scary board, but does he move the general back? Does he play it safe?
You gotta fade. Just let your board take care of it, it's fine. Alright, well, and also has a Basilisk down.
Yeah, there we go. Fade away. Yep.
Okay, this one's looking great for Soup. JoJoJoJo in a super dire situation. There's just... the damage has been done. GG.
This is when you need a homeostatic rebuke.
Yeah. Even the 3 damage everything Frostfire spell isn't gonna cut it.
Wouldn't have been enough, yeah. Well played.
Yeah. So we'll be seeing some Maeve.
And coming out with the
all about that pet action pretty much.
The Hydrax engine.
I do like the random Nightmare Operant in there in the Foralu, Because Frowley works really good with the pets, but also is giving the +1 to that mech. Okay, Soopbloops. Up 1 game, going into game 2.
Anything I'm not surprised that I don't see more Faraloos.
Yeah, it's got the +1 and
how advantageous it is.
It's a monstrous value engine, especially if you can copy something like a Helm of Mechazor that's super cheap and spammable. You're just like flooding, you're tripping over Mechazors, you'll get too many. Well, we have the Hydrax in hand. Soopbloops is ready to trade this tiny minion a whole bunch of times. JoJoJo with a bunch of mana ramping to start things off has the B and has mana Death Grip. Already at starting 5 mana next turn, gonna go to 6, and then having a 7 mana turn the next turn. When Soup is still just doing his 4 mana turn.
That's a lot of mana.
But Soup's gonna have a lot of cards.
That's true. A lot of ways to answer.
Yeah, this Hydrax should be good. Mbala is a long way off, but this is what JoJoJoJo is aggressively ramping into. We have multiple Sentinels, so Soopbloops is going to be stuck in the guessing game.
Yeah, multiple Sentinels are always scary. Svannar has the scary Sentinels, I think, by far. Because both Drake Dowager and Moonlit Basilisk are both terrifying minions.
And the third one actually isn't
many problems. And
the other one is a 3/5, which is like super overstated, so it's quite nice. And it's decent, I think, to throw in with the rest. But valuing the nasty Drake generator and the Basilisk, that gets huge. Gonna want to sting the... This is actually kind of tough. Like, do you take 4 general damage? Or do you sting and push 2 damage? I think maybe going in with the Shivers is correct to get the mana out of it. Because this only gives you a permanent mana crystal if it infiltrates, which is behind out of range of the frog.
It's good positioning by Soup. How much is that mana worth to you? I think is the question that is being asked in this moment.
There's a chance that the pet also takes the top mana, so we're seeing Shivers just take the top mana, denying it. Already has the mana ramping from the mana Death Grip from earlier, so it doesn't really need extra. Wouldn't have been the Mbala difference.
Mbala is just a scary card to just sitting in the back.
Surround the enemy in general with random walls, which then proceed to beat them down, or just keep them stuck in place so you can do anything or run away. It's good on the aggressive and defensive.
Remember back when Trials were still in the game, Oak the Nemeton?
Oh no!
And then Mbala would just be like a free free trial.
Yeah, I just gave you like 4 different kinds of different tokens or something. You combo that with
I just gave you enough tokens, and it's like, okay, great, I can use my trial that needs 5 tokens. And then all my minions are, what was it? Was it like 5/5 or something crazy like that?
+4, +5 to all your tokens, yeah. And you just ran all the token minions, which were just generally good anyway. You're running Jaxies and Fenrir's.
But I found it was definitely typically a generally harder one to pull off.
If people knew what they were fighting against, they could really go for your tokens, and sometimes Nemeton just gets screwed. Soopbloops taking the step back and then swinging at this Dowager that turns it on.
Uh-oh.
So gonna have to immediately take care of that with the Inkhorn Gaze, making a pretty good call
has
there.
that answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise that could have been very bad, but actually has answers to both, because still had the Ritual Banishing.
Yeah.
So could still take it out if it was a Moonlit.
Ready for the Basilisk still, and got maybe the best pet, but this pet actually gets a lot worse when your opponent hits for 5 and one-shots it. It's a 2/5 celerity. So it's hopefully being placed back.
His value. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to realize value with it, just keeping it way back there. The Koi is pretty annoying to have in your face because you cannot damage it with a general. We see Matron 11T in hand. Could potentially start getting the +1/+1 growth rolling, but JoJoJoJo instead gonna go for Cryo Blade, Ferocity, stunning it up. Ferocity draws you a card on transform, so it's generally worth it to do.
Oh really? I did not know that.
Yeah, check out this cool text box on the right
I
side of the screen.
Disciple of Yggdra. Yeah, transform this minion, draw a card. Okay, that's good value.
Yeah, we there's a bunch of extra support now for Alina, because she was kind of left in the dust along with Sag.
She did need it.
And Starhorn was kind of a joker too, so he's got cost reduction on that BBS. Because Decimus got deleted, which was like turning the memes into like a high win rate deck.
Yeah, playing against Archer on the ladder with that Starhorn deck now just demolishes me every time.
Ritual Banishing, Incorn Gaze, using the removal to answer this board that was just developed, and this Koi still can't be answered. But a Cloud Caller,
Can't do anything.
You could potentially throw a water ball at it to kill it.
That's so true.
Lesser water ball, go.
I forgot how funny that card is.
It's a nice looking BBS sprite, but it's where's the greater water ball?
That's the real question. When are we getting greater water ball? When are we getting that Helgen?
Lesser implies greater.
That's true.
But it's already a pretty big BBS sprite. Maybe it'd be like a full I don't know what it'd be.
It's just like its own spell.
Yeah. Just grab the cool art that this thing gives you and slip it into the deck list and maybe mod it somehow. Could be good. If we got any awesome spriters, we're always adding new cards, and the biggest bottleneck to new cards is sprites, because the sprite quality in this game is through the roof. Like, everything is awesome. Even this little bee is like dripping its sparkles.
And just like the number of animations something has, like idle, moving, attacking, dying.
You got your 7. Running is like 8 frames usually. There's the hit animation, which is really short and easiest to do. The attack animation sometimes is harder than all the animations put together, because they do some fancy stuff.
Yeah, a lot of crazy like particle effects and like very
lighting,
well involved lighting. Yeah. The art always blows me away.
Demonic Lure is a really good answer to infiltrate, because 11T is not going to be infiltrating for a while, so her grow kind of turns off for 3 turns. Yeah, we got Cloud Callers. And we got the Gravity Well lock. So Soopbloops has like a Shadow Watcher to work with. It's gonna be a long time before this gets really threatening. And it's gonna have to deal with stun every so often. At least the BBS is on cooldown right now, because it was just used as a water ball. Which, if you're curious what water ball is, it's 4 damage to a minion. So it's kind of like the Cryogenesis.
It's a spell that feels very at home in a Songhai deck.
Yeah, of note, it refreshes your BBS when it transforms. It's not like the 8-drop Abyssian dude that puts it on cooldown immediately, but actually it costs another 3 once you make your thing awesome. So that's why that thing's never online at once.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of walls to punch through. So
the Phoenix guy. Yeah, alright. Classic just general smackdown.
Yep. Soopbloops will have to solve this board of the 11T's coming in next turn. Rar could be put in place to block that, but the rest of it is still coming in, so Shadow Watcher has to trade with a Matter Shaper. Actually, it's not even a trade because the BBS plus the hit. But it's still enough damage, this heal spell is necessary to stay in it.
Oh yeah. To get rid of that, or it's Jover.
It's Ogre. Raw in the middle?
The sword's gotta go.
It's a cat that spits up more cats sometimes.
Sometimes.
Usually weirder stuff comes out of it.
Rar?
No, it only gives you token pets, I think.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, they don't want it spitting out bears. Puts it not in the middle, so we're done this game. JoJoJo tying up the series. Although this was gonna be way too hard to come back from, to be fair. Soopbloops had a really strong position here. Or JoJoJo tying it up.
Alright, tying up the series. On to game 3.
Yeah. Last game of the night. Flying into it. And it's Sag. Could potentially be making copies of pets with Thunderclap, but these are generally not what you want to be making pets out of, and also these koi are just invincible. Very powerful fish. With 2 of them is gonna split open with them. Could potentially drop one into the center of the map too to be even more annoying. But the symmetry on this looks pretty nice.
Yeah, and very good minions to have against a general that wants to get in your face, but Wildfire Unk. Just going for the general. Just going right down the middle.
Gonna have to sacrifice something like a Sandsister to clean up these 2 pets.
Yeah, already creating problems.
And the 2 pets are gonna be doing tons of card draw if this Hydrox hits the table. So this is looking like a strong Soopbloops opener for sure. It's like specifically ruining this kind of deck that is very general heavy. So all these general support cards are just having a trouble with these 1-drop shitters that are usually nothing.
Oh, look at that. A nice spearhead attack. Setting every general to grab some more mana.
Yep, very nice. Sandsister to clear the fish. Deadly, deadly koi are off the table. JoJoJoJo can finally play now more of a normal game. Maybe
actually play the game now.
Yeah.
Moving up the frog. I have a sinking suspicion that will be blasted very briefly.
Yeah.
But now is in a really strong position with a lot of very scary artifacts, because
Spine Cleaver is a hell of a thing to land.
Spine Cleaver, that just puts you on a timer.
Yep.
But he is playing that into the one faction that can consistently
the one general too.
The one general.
This is like a replace level card now. Damn.
Almost, pretty much.
It's a 5 mana +1 attack that invites your opponent to do the thing.
It's almost free value for your opponent.
If it's off cooldown, you can at least get 1 turn cycle in with it, but unless you're pinging 1 damage, I think this is actually a replace.
Unless you can get a lot of things at once with it, which...
Well, let's demonstrate. Spine Cleaver's down, and there's a Bloodfire Totem here to ping away Soopbloops 2 per turn. This is normally a terrible situation and a game ender, and then JoJoJo has a free ride to the victory. But we have a spell here called Malice. Critically, it only has 2 range. So Soopbloops actually has to advance to be able to hit this.
Be able to use the spell.
And because it has 2 range, you actually can't target past that range, so can't put the husk right in JoJoJo's face.
It's got to move it back, yeah, and good positioning to prevent the general from blasting more than one thing.
Yeah. So now maybe would be a nice time to get the Spine Cleaver down, but actually not even, because Malice, we can see the 1 above it. It's coming off cooldown next turn.
Because I'm thinking, use Thunderclap. Get a Roar on your side. BBS so you take no damage.
And this gives you a fresh copy of it. It's not like the illusion nonsense we saw earlier.
Yeah, fresh copy, so it actually works.
Yep, here's a Roar that spits up more pets. Here's an Obelisk that is gonna chip away and
maybe misordered the Atom Clinger summon.
Oh yeah, whoops, Atom Clinger actually could have been way huger.
But hey, you know.
Got it down at least. It's better than not doing it.
Tense situation.
Sometimes I'll misplay and then I'll hold on to the card out of shame. It's like, oh, I would have played that if it was part of the plan. It must be replaced fodder because I'm not using it, right? And I trick myself out of a better play.
I know, we've all been there.
Yeah.
We've all done something and then just been like, I did this. Or you plan the play so well in your head and then you get halfway through and realize you don't actually have enough mana. And then your entire board state is just ruined because you can't play that last card you needed to make the combo work. But yeah, Atom Clinger goes down.
We're seeing a Ritual Banishing to take out the nasty totem instead. I feel like this Hydrax would have been way better turn 1 with the Koi around. But the Koi actually weren't dying, so it technically wasn't doing anything at the time, but I think it might have made a huge difference this game, because 2 extra cards plus the rest. Because Hydrax right now is relying on this Rar to get fodder.
But the Rar summon is actually pretty good for JoJo. Because he can take it out.
Yep. Thunderclap another copy of it.
Of course, this is assuming that
Soopbloops has more removal.
Exactly. One more Ritual Banishing just for the road.
Yep, just drops a gore to get that going. A lot of card draw now flowing in. So Soopbloops off the races. These artifacts fall off. JoJo's health is pretty low. Doesn't have great space for a Swarm King Scarab.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty crowded, getting pretty crowded on that end of the board.
Yeah. This Atom Clinger doesn't have anything to hit. Blood of Air is like slightly too good to replace, but also kind of awkward to use, because
nothing here is high enough value to really justify using it. But
so rare column to see a Swarm King Scarab. Here's one in the middle.
Trying to create some distance, hopefully getting some value out of it.
Yeah, no matter where it shoots, it'll be good. But we see a Shroud ready to hit.
But yeah, just drop the Shroud and then just like last set.
Yep, now it's just a big W beater.
Expensive 2/7 minion.
I don't even think that stat line exists on a vanilla minion, it's so sad.
If it did, I don't think anyone would use it, because it'd have to be like...
It's a Bond deck bait. But being in Vitruvian, let's see, Time Maelstrom does buy an extra turn out of nowhere.
You can just run to the other end of the board and take out the Hydrax.
Could take it out with an Oblivion Sickle, but there's way too much to deal with, and that being silenced.
And that is it.
Congratulations. Soopbloops.
Soop taking the victory.
Soup's going to be advancing. Going to be facing MushyMango in the next match. And we'll also be seeing me versus losers improve. And the loser of the top bracket will face the bottom bracket. And then winner of the bottom bracket sees whoever's in the finals for the big finale. And we'll best of 5 it for the finale. We've been doing best of 3s up till now. But for the very end, we'll do a slightly bigger show with no advantage to the upper side. You just play less games and have more time to wait, I guess. But maybe next season we'll actually make the advantage real.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah. I'm gonna do the old usual flipping through the sides for a second so anyone can take a screenshot if they want to see any of this cool info, but we are out of here. See all of you guys. Thanks once again, Zenron, for joining the cast. This was great.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. See you guys next time. GG.
Bye-bye.